Well, hello everyone. This is Sandy at Suburban Homesteader, Wyoming, Arizona. More than likely, we will not have people early today because the time changed. Well, Arizona does not change. My part of Arizona, maybe some part of Arizona, but I don't think so, doesn't change. And so I want everything to be the same time. Hey, Jake, how are you? So I want everything to be the same time all year round. So all lives will be 6 o'clock Mountain Standard Time, even though with the time change, now I am Pacific Time because Arizona is just like that. And I think Hawaii might be that way too. So Jake, how are you? How is that lovely wife of yours and the girls? I saw some awards with jiu-jitsu. That's very cool. And of course, Nightbot will pop in and give some information about different channels, and so I appreciate that. And we are doing some fun things today. We are talking about harvesting in March because you guys know I am in Arizona right now, and Angie's here. Hi, Ange. Oh, good. I asked if Jake's wife and the two girls are good, and they are. And Angie has popped in. I can see other people, but they haven't made any comments. So we're talking about harvesting. Because I live in Arizona, I have 2 gardens. And March is one of those busy months when you come down in October until you plant. So things that I could harvest right now and have been harvesting, like carrots, green onions. I usually go to the store and you get that bundle of green onions. And sometimes they're 2 bundles for $1. I plant those down here. And right now they're as big as leeks. And so I can just pull one out, chop it all up when I'm cooking. And it's great fun. I would have pulled one up today, but I'm eating over at my mom and dad's house when I'm done with my live stream. So that. Oh, Angie says her harvest right will ship in a couple days. Yay. So exciting. And Dorothy's here too. Hi, Dorothy. How are you? That broccoli cheese soup recipe is so good. Oh, I agree. I love broccoli cheese soup. One of my other favorite ones is potato leek soup. Oh, so good, especially with just right out of the garden. It's just amazing combination of flavors and textures, and so good. Other things that I've been harvesting, broccolis, lots and lots of broccolis. In fact, I cut all the broccolis. Now they got all these little florets all over the place. Got to harvest again. Cauliflowers, but this year my cauliflowers I have not been happy with. The seedlings that I get, that greenhouse went with a different company, and so it doesn't really tell you. It just says white cauliflower, but they did not head up like they should have. They were very loose right away, and then all of a sudden they just started shooting up. That was disappointing. Not that I can't eat them like that. It's just not what I wanted. And the last few years when they had the other company, they have been just such beautiful cauliflowers. But that's the way it is when you go to garden and you're not growing from your own seeds. I have also been harvesting bok choy, lettuces, and lots of Swiss chard. So that's kind of fun. But what I harvested just before the live stream are potatoes. Potatoes. So that's a Yukon Gold potato. Look at how big this one is. I had to show it to you. I haven't washed them off at all. I seriously just picked them before this live stream. Look at the mammoth size of that red. That is awesome. We had some of these the other night with my brother, and my mom and dad were over. My brother and his wife were over. If you haven't ever grown potatoes, one of the things you might not realize is that the sound that they make. And does that sound funny? The sound that a potato makes. When you buy potatoes in the store, for the most part, they are never fresh. At a farmer's market, you could get fresh ones. And you cut them regularly from the store, and it doesn't really make much noise. You cut a potato that just came out of your garden, and that slicing action is so loud. It's just fabulous. Then you know you have a perfectly fresh potato. Now, I have been growing these potatoes. This is the 4th season since I bought potatoes. And what I do is I'm going to finish digging all the potatoes up tomorrow. And then I'm going to lay on the table for a couple weeks. Just because if you do that, the skin gets a little bit harder. I won't let any rain or anything get on them, but they will be outside. And the skin gets a little tougher, so they last longer. And then we'll just eat them as we need them too. But after those 2 weeks, I do a thing called chitting. And so I thought I'd show you what I do. Okay, so any old egg carton will work. A box will work. And so I usually try to get potatoes that are either about this size or about this size. And I want to show you what I do. Okay, so see how they're just sitting in that egg carton. I'll put them on the counter, not in direct sunlight, but indirect sunlight is okay. And they will just sit there. What will happen, the eyes will get short, stubby, a purplish green color, and it will make it so when I plant these in Wyoming, I will harvest 2 weeks earlier than if I didn't do that. So that is spectacular. Angie is asking when we go back to G-Town, Gillette. We go back in April. About mid-April, we will watch. And if we have a window of 4 or 5 days that there is no snow from Yuma, Arizona, all the way up to Gillette, Wyoming, that's when we're going. And Xander's here. Hello, how are you? Did you get your package? And BP is here. Who is Nightbot? Nightbot is a crazy automated thing that will show different channels. I put that stuff. Oh, good. Xander got gift. Yay. One, if I am not mistaken, one of my dichroic necklaces, because I gave a few things away in the last couple weeks. And in fact, I am giving away fused glass magnets tonight. So stick around. Next was taken by one of my sisters, so I am sure it will be passed around between my sisters. They love it. Thank you. So, yay. Well, maybe you will win a heart tonight. Who knows? So first I thought I would give one away. And my friend Steph teased me about this. And then I said, oh, maybe I should give 2 of them away. And then I guess I'm giving 3 of them away. All of them have these big magnets. But the glass is kind of heavy, so you can't just have a wimpy magnet. But what I'm looking for are some smaller silver magnets. So if you guys know where I might be able to find them, send me an email. If you find a link, send me an email. Because I do want them not as noticeable. Like on the green one, you can't tell. You know, I mean, it shades it a little bit darker there, but there's some darker green glass in there too. So you don't really notice it. And even on this one, there's a piece of dichroic back there. So the magnet, I don't know if you can tell that, has little dots on it. So it's okay. But I would still like to get some powerful little tiny silver magnets. So if anybody knows where I could get those, that would be awesome. So you can see on the screen, it says, are you harvesting vegetables inside or out? So maybe it's cold and you are only doing hydroponics. Maybe you have nice weather like I do and you are harvesting outside. I just wondered if anybody was harvesting anything right now. Oh, Dorothy, you're so sweet. And how do you win the necklaces? How does that work? Nightbot picks from people that made comments. When I type in the little code, it picks from people that have made a comment in the chat within the last 5 minutes. That's how it picks. That's why sometimes if I typed in the chat, it would pick me. It's not supposed to pick me. So I always think that's funny. And Sandra says, nope, it's cold out inside and out. Soaking seeds right now is all I'm doing. Awesome. I did a video today that comes out at midnight tonight. The Vineyard Chicks, and a lot of you know the Vineyard Chicks, they are doing a collaboration with Bushcraft Family and Lazy Days with Jesse and Lisa. And they have invited several, I don't know how many for sure, channels to grow these 6 types of seeds that they sent us. And that way there can be videos on, okay, these work really good in this area. What kind of soil did you use? What kind of weather do you have? So it'll be really interesting. And that's right. It's called Seed Survival 2024. And so I'm totally excited about that. But today I planted my onions. Now I planted them inside. I made a little greenhouse for them. So the video will be up tonight at midnight. So you can watch that. But we had to do an intro video. And so I thought because I have to do my onions now, I would add that in the video. And so that's what I did, because onions take a long time to grow. You know, a lot of times people buy the little boblets or they buy the plants already. But if you don't realize how long it takes for onions to get to that point to plant them in the ground, you will be totally surprised. Now, if you live in a place that you have 6 months of exceptional weather, you could plant them right in the ground and you would be okay. BP says, just harvesting my citrus at my California home, Naval Myers. Bear's limes. Oh, see, I don't know what Bear's limes are. I have Mexican limes here and Valencia oranges. Awesome. I planted a Valencia orange this year and I did not expect any blossoms. It's a fairly large tree. It's larger than what I usually buy. And one of the branches has some buds on it. And in fact, every one of my citrus have buds on it this year. I'm so excited. Dorothy says, we are waiting out of there will be another freeze. Oh, so she's seeing if it's going to be another freeze or not. But I want to plant mollypops, aka passion fruits. Woohoo! That would be fun. I guess I can grow passion fruits here in Yuma. I haven't yet, but that doesn't mean I won't. Because I'm always looking for things. I harvested another bundle of bananas. And so I'm excited about that. I need to cut down some banana stalks because once you take that bundle of bananas out, that bunch of bananas, you do just cut that whole tree, that part of that tree down, because it will never produce. In fact, it just starts to die back. So you can leave it and let it go back if you want to. So BP says, bear's skins turn yellow, but the fruit is green. See, my Mexican limes turn yellow too. And the little guy that I bought them from used to have a place at the swap meet. And I bought several trees from him. And he said that he told me that the skins would turn all yellow, and then I would know that they were ready. Where a lot of limes will be green. When you buy them in the store, usually they're green. Sometimes that they would have turned yellow if they would have stayed longer on the tree, you know. That information needs to be to Kettle Kitchen by 26th of the month. I am not sure what Sandra is talking about. I must have missed something up there. So you might have to tell me again. You know, it's hard to go up and down the chat when you're talking too. Let's give a green heart away. Okay, so just type anything. It doesn't really matter. And I am going to type my little code, and Nightbot will pick a winner. Now, if I don't already have your address, you do have to live in the continental United States. But I'll mail these out tomorrow, and it will be fun. So I have my little sheet so I can write down who our winner is. And we will see who wins the green one. And Nightbot must be thinking because I don't see a winner yet. Does anybody else see a winner yet? BP is the winner. Okay. Please send me your physical address in California. I am going to put this. This is my address. So if you would send that to me, that would be awesome. And I will send that. And maybe I have it, but just in case I don't, just send it in an email. And I appreciate that. So that's exciting. We gave one of them away, and we're already halfway through my live because Mom says, what time will you be done with that live stream? And I said, well, usually about a half hour. Okay, we'll wait for supper for you. My brother and his wife leave tomorrow. And so this will be a fun time. We can eat supper, sit outside, chat, because they leave tomorrow and I have meetings in the morning. So I will tell them a quick bye in the morning, but then they will be gone by the time I get back home. So that's just one of those things, you know. It's kind of exciting. Today when I planted the onions, I bought this new, it's reusable, it's for seeds, right? It's for seeds. You're going to start your seeds in there, and usually, I'll use the little Jiffy pellets, or I'll use my own soil. I'll use my, I'll make my own soil mix, and I have a little machine that will make little squares. But I saw this at Tractor Supply, and I thought, that's kind of interesting. It was a little spendy, but it's reusable. And so the idea is, instead of using something for a couple times and you have to throw it away because of the plastic, though it is plastic, it is different. And it has some silicone parts on it where it pushes out. And you can see that in the video tonight, or if you watch it tomorrow. I think it cost me $7 or $8. It has 8 cells in it, extra large cells. And so half of it I planted lettuce, and my little seed packet from the Vineyard Chicks had 20 onions in it. Well, onions like to grow crowded. And so usually when I do like a 4x6 little container that I'm doing my onions in, I pack it, 50, 100 seeds in there. And it's, they're just coming up all over. And then when they get to be about 6 or 8 inches tall, you give them a haircut and you cut them in half, because you want the energy going to those roots for right now, not all to the top. So we're going to see how that new tray works. And it was fun. It was interesting, the whole concept of it and the information that they gave you. So I'm excited about that. Oh, Angie says she's going to plant her hydroponic peppers in dirt this weekend. Hoo, hoo, hoo. Hot peppers or sweet peppers? Angie, probably hot peppers, because Erin likes hot peppers. Oh, and she's going to start a new set of peppers. And I have done this before too. Started in my hydroponics, then moved it. Some vegetables have more shock than other ones when it goes into the dirt, but they fix themselves. Angie says she's doing hot peppers. So that will be fun. And we are 45 seconds away from 20 minutes. And so we'll, in just a minute, we will give away another heart. And we're going to give away this one this time. The light reflects on it. But it has several different colors of blues in there. And then it has some clear dichroic in there. It's really pretty funky looking. And I like it that the dichroic hit where the magnet is. So I like that. So I am going to type again, and we will see who the winner of that one is. So here we go. And Nightbot says the winner is Dorothy. Dorothy is the winner. Awesome. Okay, Dorothy. Of course, you can send me your address. I do believe I have your address, but it's always better just to send it just in case. Otherwise, I'm going to have to email you. And so it's just easier. And let me put that up again. That is my email address. So you can just send it. And I don't have my P.O. box anymore. The reason was because I live in 2 different places. I have to have 2 P.O. boxes. Now, you can buy a P.O. box for 6 months, but on the other 6 months, somebody else could take your P.O. box number. So I had to buy them for a whole year, both places. And they just keep rising and rising in price. And this year was going to be $182 for my little tiny P.O. box in both places. And it was just like, we're talking almost $400. And I just thought, yeah, I just can't do that. I can't justify that. I mean, it is a deduction, a tax deduction, with all my YouTube and art and all that stuff. But I just didn't really think it was worth it. So needless to say, I canceled that. So everything is coming through my addresses. So if you need my address, you're going to have to email me, because I'm not going to put it out there specifically so that anybody can see it. So that's just the way it is. It is way too expensive. And I could see it if you had a big box, but I have the tiniest box you can have. So I don't know how much those big ones cost now. But that's, and really if I lived in one place and I only had to buy one box, I probably would justify that. $15 a month. But I just can't do it I just can't do it. It's just too much money. And so it was just something I had to decide, So the other thing I wanted to talk about, harvesting, because even though I'm harvesting right now, a lot of us, like when I go back to Wyoming, we don't harvest until some things midsummer, a lot of things in the fall. But how do you know what, when and where to harvest, what to do? And sometimes we just want to go through and we want to harvest all the lettuce all at once, or we want to harvest all of the bok choy all at once. Well, you got to do something with that. Otherwise, it sits in your refrigerator or on your counter, and the longer it sits there, the nutrients go away. It's not as fresh. It doesn't taste as good. So you're better off doing small batches of things, like only pulling up enough potatoes that you can eat right away, or just enough collard greens for the next meal that you're doing, because the collards can just sit on the plant. But I think sometimes we just have that mindset. It's harvest time. We are harvesting everything. Now, if you're doing your tomato sauces and you're doing different things, you might be harvesting buckets and buckets of tomatoes. But just remember, you don't have to. Just look at those ones that are the ripest that you can use right now. What things can wait a couple days, what things can wait for a week before you do it, just to make it that you're having the freshest thing. I always tell everybody here, like some of my neighbors around me, they have citrus trees, and they get in this mood and they harvest every lemon off their tree or every grapefruit off their tree, and they're giving away to everybody, and then later on they don't have any for themselves. And it's like, the best place to store your citrus is on the tree. It will last on the tree way longer than it will in a box or in the refrigerator. And that goes to the same with vegetables. You have to watch, because like apples, at a certain point, they are past ripe. There are vegetables that get past, but just keep an eye on it. So you know that, I don't have to pull up all these carrots today. I can wait a week or two. They'll just stay in the ground. What can you do that you need to do right away when you're harvesting in March or any other month of the year that you're harvesting? You just don't have to do it all the time. BP says, I am currently at my Tucson area home. I am currently trying to root the dragon fruit. A friend gave me a cutting. I don't know what will happen in Tucson. You'll have to just let me know where I'm sending the heart to, okay? And Xander's getting a pressure canner this year. I have a couple of pressure canners. They just can do so many things. I have one that's really tall that you can double stack. My brother gave it to me. And so, I mean, you can can a lot of things and a little, in the process. And so it is great. It's a small one, but we get to start pressure canning low acid foods. See, that is perfect. And I agree with Angie. Canning is fun. It is. Can it be a little scary when you first start? Yeah, I think we're sometimes intimidated with that, unless you grew up and your mom and your aunts and your grandmas were canning. It was just part of your life. But if you come later to homesteading, or you never paid attention when your parents were canning, it just makes it so that it can be a little intimidating. But maybe you don't want to can. What about getting a dehydrator, a freeze dryer, blanching and freezing your vegetables if you're really not comfortable canning? Your extension offices many times will have canning classes so that you can go through those, and free or minimal cost for that, so that you can get some experience and get some more confidence in there. And so that's kind of cool. Now, we are at 27 minutes, so I need to give away this one. This one has dichroic glass in it. And it looks like the dichroic is actually floating. I like it. And so we are going to see the winner of that one. Now, next Monday night, I am going to give away a plant stake. See, you just put it in the ground, put it in a pot, totally up to you. But I like them. I did them with some glass paint and a stencil, and I have a few different kinds. So I don't know. For sure, I'm giving one away. Maybe I'll give more away. Who knows about those things? Anyway, so I am going to... Oh, nope, that's the wrong thing. So type something in there. If you would like this fused glass magnet, go on your refrigerator. I have a bunch of them on my filing cabinet, and I use them to hold papers up. So that's kind of fun. So let's see who our winner is. Dun, da, da, da. I have a minute and a half before I have to end the live and go over to my mom and dad's house. They're having shrimp. Xanda! And I think you said you wanted a blue one. So that is awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I think he was talking about the freeze dryers, BP. I think that's what he was talking about. But you can get refurbished ones. You can get the scratch and dent ones. They will let you do payments a lot of times. So I think when it comes to a freeze dryer, I've always wanted one. Oh, like crazy. They have 3 different sizes: small, medium, large. And I think it's one of those things that I think you have to have a good garden, a continuous garden, and know what you want to make. Like some people make dog treats and freeze dry them and sell them. I've seen those at the farmer's market. I've seen these little ice cream sandwiches that they freeze dried, which are totally fun. I've seen all kinds of vegetables freeze dried. One of my favorite things that are freeze dried are Skittles. They're totally yummy. Oh, and Xander says they have an extra large freeze dryer. That is awesome. And I guess for me and Joe, we would probably just need a smaller medium. But if you had a big family, I mean, you do that, you seal them up, they'll last 25 years. My only concern was, what if I did so much? Would I have to stop gardening after a while because I would have so much freeze-dried food? But if you do maybe you give them to family, maybe you sell them at a farmer's market, maybe you sell them on Facebook. There's lots of options to do with your vegetables when you're harvesting, and that's a perfect way. You're harvesting and they go right into the freeze dryer. So it is amazing. And I seriously have always wanted one. But now I live in 2 different places, and where would I put them? Would I have it here or would I have it in Wyoming? I don't know. Yeah, and I mean, seriously, you could freeze dry a lot of fruit. It's just like, it's mind-boggling the things you can freeze dry. So it's crazy. But everybody, it's 31 minutes after, and they will be waiting for me. My dad says, when you get invited to eat, he's having it at a certain time, you better be there. But everyone, make sure if you think at all I may not have it, Xander I have because I just mailed it, but I actually did have his anyway. Xander's anyway. Just make sure so then I can mail them all out tomorrow and they can get to you. I have some bubbled envelopes already, and so that will be perfect. I will be back next week, Mountain Standard Time, 6 o'clock. Doesn't matter what time it is in Arizona. It's going to be 6 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. Charmaine, hey, I'm sorry, we are just leaving. I know it's weird when it's a time change, but just remember, every single live of mine is always going to be 6 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. It doesn't matter what Arizona has for a time zone because they don't switch. So right now we're on Pacific time, and on Friday we were on Mountain Standard Time. It's crazy. But I'm off to my mom and dad's for supper. Farewell dinner for my brother and his wife that are down here. And I appreciate you guys stopping in. Have a fabulous day. And I'll see you next time.